Hello everybody, Zeph here with Zeph's Trading. Hope you guys are doing well today, February 29th, 2024. Going to be going over the daily chart, then the 2000 tick chart. 4 trades on today. Pretty okay price action, but overall still kind of a trading range. And, I thought this day was going to continue with a sell-off, but sure enough, they turned it right around at 1 to 2 o'clock and rallied it up. So getting on this daily chart here after our 3-day consolidation, we had a break below the previous day's low here, and then we turned up and we closed right above our purple band here at 51.09 basically. Closed a little bit below that at 51.03. So let's see tomorrow if we get some follow through on this outside bar, this outside bullish bar. My bias is definitely going to be up and targeting the 51.50 mark for the daily chart. And if not, and this thing does decide to turn back down, let's see if we can get a break below the 50.73. Let's see if we can get to 50.50 and, kind of get some support across the board here, somewhere around there. See how price reacts around there. And that's what it's looking like for the daily chart. Now let's jump over to the 2000 tick chart. Okay, this is what it looks like for the 2000 tick chart. As you can see, very nice big bullish spike up. And kind of got a nice spike channel. Chopped around sideways here. A market open for a wee bit. Then it got 2 nice consecutive legs to the downside. And then 11:30 came. We got a low here. And we start to rally back up. And we got a couple legs, and then again, just at, 14:35. So basically 2 hours before market closes, this rally just kept going, broke the high of the day and rallied all the way up. We had a new high of day, then sold off the last about, 15:53? About last 20 minutes of the day, and then, now that we're here. So other than that, let's just jump right into it and go over the trades I took. The trades I saw. So with the pre-market here, we have some consolidation and then a nice channel up, huge bullish momentum. Kind of you get this spike and channel, as you can clearly see. And then after that, 9:30 opens, we rally up just a wee bit more and sell off, and then it just kind of goes into this trading range for about 30 minutes. And the only real valid setup I see here was this triple test. As you can see, I have our new high of day across the board here with that green dotted line. Try to zoom in here and make it easy to see. You get a first entry, pulls back, second entry long. It does go a little higher here. This might have been good for 4 ticks, but your risk would have been too big. So, if anyone did take the second entry long, this is a very risky trade. You'd have to put a very deep limit order in. And, you might have gotten your 4 to 6 ticks. Let me just see, because there's no way you can put your buy order right above here. You're risking way too much. So we'll do our usual 2-point stop. So let's see. So 50, 1, 2. Yeah, so if you put a limit order in after it, you would have got it filled. You would have definitely have to wait quite a bit. And then you got 1, 2. You might not have got filled. So you might have gotten only 7 to 6 ticks on that trade, depending on how you played it. Nonetheless, when you ever see an outside bar that big and, there's not a whole lot of room to the upside with multiple red bars closing on their lows, you have to be very cautious of it. Okay, so then after that, it kind of just, again, makes a trading range here, as you can clearly see. And then you get 1, 2, 3 touches. You also get a first entry long, pulls back, second entry long. Then it comes out and, you can't go obviously long on here as it's too congested, but the context wise, you're realizing that, okay, the second entry long, pull back, major support here, the 5100 mark, and you get a triple test, nice signal bar closing out high. At minimum, you're looking for it to go back up to this side. So again, deep limit order, stop maybe 1 to 2 ticks below your signal bar, just make sure it's in a 2-point range. And, you could have got 6 ticks there. And certain times like this, you can only go for 4 to 6 ticks just because of how the market is, and you can take what you get, or you could wait and be more patient throughout the day. Okay, then this is where the first trade comes. I open the platform and I clearly see the second entry short here, but before we get to that, this trend channel is highly debated. So when you're drawing this trend channel, you're clearly, you want data points. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, 4. And now some might argue that this is a break. This candle, these two candles are a break, new low. But I feel like that's not how price action is going to work. I think that's fitting a narrative, because you can easily just draw a couple ticks over and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, depending on how you drew this trend channel, I still think this is a valid trend channel. And anyone who says the second entry short, where's the khaki on this? Second entry short is invalid, or you shouldn't have taken it. That's such bullshit. This meets the criteria perfectly. Huge trend down, clearly within the trading range. You get a first entry pullback, second entry short. It's fine. If a trade doesn't work, I'm just tired of people not thinking that the strategy is perfect or something. Anyways, sorry, a little bit of a rant over. They're gonna also, people are arguing that this trend channel is in play, so how, you can't take a short, but you could just, the thing with the trend channels is they're so subjective, because you could just draw the trend channel and say, okay, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, break new high. So nonetheless, that's how I basically drew this downward trend. I was expecting a new low, and that's why I took the second entry short. And that's okay. I'm okay with losing trade. I just want to show you that the strategy isn't absolutely perfect, and unlike some people who are trading it, that's totally fine. So anyways, first entry short, second entry short. I accidentally go one tick too many, as you can see. I actually enter at 50.89, and I should have entered at 50.89.25. So, one tick, you're like, oh, not that big of a deal, but my stop loss was actually 10 ticks. And I didn't realize, because I was just so fast with this, and then moved it one tick above, and I realized what I should have done is just either put a limit order right at 50.89.50, so it's 1, 2, and that's right, that's exactly 2 points, one tick above the signal bar, so I should have just done the limit order there. So that's my mistake. I don't even mind this losing trade at all. This is clearly a great second entry short, and I would take this again. So, but not every single system can work perfectly with 100% win rate, so that's totally fine. Okay, anyways, rant over. I also could have probably trailed this stop. I was thinking about it real time, and could have saved myself 2 ticks. So I think I should have done that, and that's my mistake, and that's what I'll do next time better. Anyways, sorry for that rant. Just keep seeing people post about this second entry short, and they're like trying to make it seem like the strategy is absolutely perfect, and no strategy is perfect. They're just bullshitting you. So anyways, uptrend, break, new high, tries to test it. And then this is where you get a nice, unfortunately you get a first entry long, second entry long, and it fails. And then you could say 1, 2, 3 if you wanted. If you took this trade, I could see why, but I would like more confirmation. And then you do kind of get this triple test, but the bar is too big, and I don't think there's room all the way back up, and I don't want to put my stop one tick below, because probability of it just rallying up again and then coming down seems low, so I don't think there's any trades here. This one is aggressive, and you might take that trade, but then you get a hidden second entry short, first entry short, second entry short. If you don't know what the hidden second entry short is, totally fine. Don't worry about it. That trade's risky right there. But as we're reading the price action, that's totally fine. So we get a clear trend down, break, new low, uptrend, and this is where I saw this first entry, second entry short fails, and then I see this 1, 2, 3 triple test. This is only 5 ticks. I feel like this is a pretty aggressive trade, but the context is so well with this uptrend, break, and then new high. You would be sweating if it's one tick above that bar, one tick above that signal bar there. And it does work out, but the context is still good. 1, 2, 3 clear triple test there, but it could have easily gone up, so you might want to put your stop like a swing above here, but you had to make sure it's at least 2 points, so you'd have to do a limit order. So there's an argument to be made there. Okay, and then I take this trade, so I see new high, and then it comes down and goes first entry long, pulls back, and then I see this outside bar, and so now I reset the count because it's a new swing high technically. So I see first entry long, pull back, second entry long, and I thought when looking at this is a good signal bar where like at the support here, it got everyone's stops out, and it's probably just going to reverse back to the EMA. And I thought I was going to try to at least get 8 to 10 ticks on this. Again, first entry long, break, new low, second entry long, and sure enough, it does go up for actually 1 point. It just doesn't go up for 2 points. So I realize that, and I see this bar close, and then I put my stop 1 tick below this nice big green bullish bar, so I just trail it. So I got minus 3 ticks on this one. So I'm pretty happy with how I managed this losing trade here, and context-wise, maybe this wasn't the best trade period. I thought this was going to be a failed breakout, but I should have waited for a high or low confirmation. I think that's my mistake there. And so then nonetheless, you technically get a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. Outside bar closing out slow. I could have also reversed the position here after that stop and then gone short. And, there's an argument to be made there. I still think this is a pretty aggressive setup, though. And you don't know that it's going to sell off like this. So then, so you get a break, new low, take the second entry, it turns to a failure. Downtrend happens. You get to where the market opens on this yellow dotted line. You get a very nice hoagie pattern here. Leads to just the rest of the day. So, if you took that hoagie pattern, the context-wise was really good. But nonetheless, you also get a first entry short, second entry short, fails, high or low confirmation of this. The only problem I had with this, I saw this real time. I didn't want to take it, though, because it's right into EMA. But maybe looking back, I see 1, 2, 3 data points for the trend channel. So I clearly see this is, pretty accurate here. And, maybe I should have taken this. This is a really good signal bar, so hindsight's 20/20. So then I watch this kind of just rally up without me, kind of get a little bit of FOMO, but, I withstand it. Then I see a break, new high. And then at this point, this is where I take a very risky trade. This is kind of not really in the strategy system, but something that I've found on my own personal use. And this is basically once you get a you get a trend up, break, new high, and you get a nice signal bar, and you can go with a low 1 here. And that's basically what I did with a deep limit order. I was sweating with my 1 tick stop loss. So I was only 1 point. This is only a 1 point stop, but I thought the context was really good with the uptrend, break, new high, looking for a low 1. Clear test back to the EMA. Price is more than likely to at least test it or go at least down 2 points. And I'm also at this marker here, which is a multiple data set point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to the tick. And so I clearly saw resistance here at the marker here, and I thought this was, again, something that I don't do very often, but it requires a lot of context, and you got to know what you're doing. Again, trend up, break, new high, looking for a low 1, at least a test back down. And sure enough, that's what I get. And so I get my I get 87? Sorry, I go for actually 10 ticks here. And so I get 10 ticks here on 2 contracts, and then my runner gets stopped, and I just stop it out for 2 points. Okay, and then what happens is I see this trend work down, but it never gets a new low. So then I realize the other thing that this could have been was basically this trend channel was like this. And I think that's also a valid setup. And it might actually be more accurate. So then, if anything, I'm basically just taking this trade that I took here out of a resistance mark and a short off the trend channel. And I think, again, this is the actual accurate trend channel. Now that I'm looking back at it, kind of doing my homework, that's why I see the break, and then it leads to a new high. But sure enough, as you're playing this trading range here, you have a nice upward trend, and you have 1, 2, and then this is where I see this second entry short, triple test, double top. So as you counter from your low here, first entry short, pulls back, second entry short. You also have a 1, 2, 3 bars rejected right off this marker here, and then you could also use technically all of this resistance as I took from the first trade here as a major resistance point. Again, deep limit order. I'm very specific now with trying to get my stop 1 tick above the signal bar. If I don't get filled, I don't get filled. It takes off without me. but it seems like most of the time, in order to get my 2 to 10 ticks that I need to get a nice limit order in to get it. And in most of the cases also, even if I didn't get my limit order, say on this one and this one, I still would have gotten my 2 points or 10 ticks. It just would have taken a little bit longer. I just like the limit order to really make sure that I'm only risking 2 points here. And then I want to move it as fast as I can to 4 ticks or 6 ticks to reduce my risk. So then, those were the 1, 2, 3, and 4 trades I took for today. Sure enough, though, I didn't get, with 2 losing trades in a row, little annoying on the day, but I feel like I did pretty good, especially with the runners here. And just keeping the composure and making sure also I'm doing my risk management with the second entry long by only not taking the full points, but actually trailing it properly. And that's how you have your small losses and big wins. And so I'm actually green on the day, even though I have a pretty big loss here with 10 ticks, which I completely messed this up with. It's really important why you have to have a 8-point stop loss. Nonetheless, that's what the rest of the trades I took for the day. So then I have this really nice trend channel working up, break a couple legs to a new high. You can also just basically see this range thing here. Could have maybe drawn it like that as well, but I think this trend channel is also just as valid. Again, very, very nice trend channel, clearly working its way up, break, new high, and then you get quite a few legs up. You can also probably measure these. It gets pretty close. So then, so then we get like basically just this congestion up here, multiple bars, sideways here, sells off, gets back to the EMA. Where does price like to go? Look at this magnet here on the prior day open at this nice dotted line. That's the prior day high. Yeah, nice bounce off there. You get a first entry, pulls back, second entry short, but you can't take that. Not a good signal bar, but context-wise, this was good. So, if your chart looked different with a signal bar, then you could take that. We get a break, new low, and then you get a nice little higher low here. So if you're watching this, you kind of can see that, momentum might change to the upside here. Then you get a nice first entry, you get another first entry, and, you might be seeing this. You might take this just because it's a good signal bar, but that'd be a very risky setup. And then this thing just it doesn't sell off. It rallies all the way up, and there's no position to get in here. It's also after 2 o'clock. And that's what it looks like for the rest of the day. Now, this is a little bit of a longer video, but I think there's quite a few pieces of information in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And tomorrow will be Friday, and that will be it for trading on this week. Another week in the bag. Hope you guys enjoyed this chart review, and I will see you guys tomorrow.